Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Today is day 4 of the emotional habits and 7 things resilient people do differently. So, basically, the two topics today are basically number habit 4 and 5, change your beliefs, and also hidden power of questions. So, today we're going to start with the change your beliefs. Now, when you first say that beliefs, that word belief, sometimes you think of your core beliefs, your ethics. That's not what this is about. Changing your whole belief system or your whole being as a person. That's not what belief is. It's belief, and I refer to it as like short-term beliefs. Like when things happen to you, what do you believe why they happen to you, or what you believe and how you should react, or believe on what type of person you are in certain circumstances. So I'm going to kind of turn a business type of twist into this and turn it into that. But again, this is not your core beliefs. It's basically how you react to things. Like, and in the book, the author used a good example of, like, if you remember, and you've seen this and heard this a lot about placebos and control groups of, if you hopefully you've heard the word placebo. If you haven't, but basically what it is that, like, if they try a new drug or something out with a control group of people, they might give half the people the actual drug and half the people the placebo, which is basically nothing. It's sugar. It's something that's not supposed to do anything to them. And then, but some people, when they take the placebo, they actually have a reaction, or they feel differently, or they act differently because they believe. That's where the term, with the kind of belief we're talking about, they believe that they have the drug. They believe that they should act a certain way. They believe that this is going to change them somehow. So in life and business, it's the same thing when things happen to you. So the exact quote in the book, and I wrote this down. I love this quote, and it resonates with me a lot. Is that, and I'll explain this to you, is that this exact quote is, less educated, less intelligent people who have mastered their ability to use their emotions rather than being used by them often achieve more. I'm a firm believer that more education and more someone that's more intelligent doesn't always equal more success. And people, but I see some very, especially in real estate and in sales, I see some extremely intelligent people and extremely educated people that just can't succeed in real estate because they cannot control their emotions. Every day, I'm dealing with and helping people with their emotions more than almost anything else. And you probably, any agent watching this that has been in the business for a while, or even that, doesn't matter how long you've been in business, if you had a few transactions, you're enrolling, those emotions are there. And if you could control your emotions, helps in the transaction, but also helps in your success as a realtor. So, example, when I'm coaching agents and saying you got to basic coaching 101, success in 101, day one of real estate 101 is you got to get yourself out there. And how are we going to do that? And sometimes I hear from people, I'm just a shy person. I don't, some agents say, I'm just a shy person. And I try to say, if you really believe that, you got to turn it around. And in the book, they use the example. You got to say, I'm not a shy person. I'm a confident person. Or I've been, at least at the minimum, I've been confident in the past. You don't have to say if you're one of these people that say, I'm a shy person, I'm not confident person, you got to say, I've been confident before and I can be confident again, and keep on reminding yourself of that. Then it grows from there. I see very successful agents right now that were not at the they were the shy, they were not confident, they didn't know what they were doing at the beginning, they were worried, and then after months, years, a career, they turn that into success when they start getting, and you'll see it, especially the new agents. As soon as you get a few transactions and it goes smoother and you start learning how to handle people. And I say this all the time, not to go off tangent, but a lot of you that are watching, if you've heard me say this, if you've joined Century One HomeStar, and I talked to you before you've joined our office, and I said things that you've done in the past are priceless in terms of educating, training, and getting you set up into real estate, having customer service background, having a business background, just life experience of handling people and customer service and dealing with problem solving. So there's I have agents from all walks of life, all different business backgrounds, different ages. I have people I have agents right now who are still in college. I have agents that are retired and doing this full time now. Every walks of life, every careers, every age range. With over 450 agents, we have every thing imaginable. Well, not everything, but many different diverse workforce and a diverse team. And seeing that, I see that with experience and confidence and things that you've done in the past can help you in real estate. So if you haven't been in real estate before, doesn't mean you're not going to be successful in real estate. I see that a lot with new agents, is that they go, I don't know if I'll be successful in real estate, but they were successful in other things and other things that they've done in life. And this is the controversial thing I'll say about real estate, and a lot of agents hate when I say this, is that there is nothing a successful agent has that no one else can get. They didn't have it before. They earned it. They've learned it. They've learned how to master their emotions. They believed in themselves. They've learned how to handle situations. Every successful agent started with nothing and built up to that. And everybody, I know a lot of brokers, owners, and people might not agree with me on this, but I wholeheartedly believe everybody has the same ability. There's nothing that those top agents have that no one else has, or you can't learn, or you can't work towards, or you can't build on your ability. So if the belief system, like example, just those little things like I'm a shy person, I don't know how to network myself, I don't know how to get myself out there. If you change that belief system that says, I was confident at this other job, I was confident and wasn't shy in this aspect. You just have to start with like baby steps, like a small snowball, and it builds from there, and it can grow to success. Now, the next step to that, the second thing for today, is how hidden powers of questions that kind of helps with the belief system. In the book, they use that emotionally resilient people use questions to empower themselves, and you've got to be aware of loaded questions. And here's some of the examples the author uses in the book. Like, people say, why does my boss never respect me? And like in real estate, like that buyer didn't use me to buy a house? Why didn't that seller want to list their property with me? Why did that deal fall apart? I think, my opinion, I twisted this a little bit when I was reading it, is that word why a lot of times could be a loaded word and a loaded question, because if you put why, like why did I lose that buyer, then that's a loaded question for negativity. Sometimes your brain will tell you all the reasons why they didn't use you, which are negative things. Like maybe you weren't confident enough. Maybe they thought you didn't explain things to them, and they thought you were not seasoned enough. Maybe they thought you didn't know the market. Maybe you just weren't your personality. Maybe you were too shy. And they're using all of the negative things like why. Why, I think, and this is if you've read the book or going to read the book, it's not in the book, this is kind of, I'm putting my twist on it, is that why sometimes turns into a negative response in your brain. and tells you why you weren't good enough, why that person didn't like you and trust you enough and went with another agent, why the deal fell apart and you could have put it together, and why you let that happen. And they could tell you whys, or even worse, in my opinion, start blaming other people. Well, that person's wrong. Well, this person did that. And then then your brain sometimes says it's not you. And then you don't learn anything. So the author does a great job of saying, like, you got to use questions, the power of questions, and turn them into things like, what did I learn from this? How can I use this experience to learn and better my business, and how to handle the next buyer or seller? How and what did I learn? How can I improve myself? So in my mind, using the term why sometimes could be more towards the negative, and turn how or what can I do to make the next time I get in this situation with a transaction, how can I keep it together when the buyer and seller don't are not on the same page? How can I learn from this experience to better myself so I could be more prepared in the next listing presentation? How can I prepare myself better? What can I do? How, what? Because sometimes these negative answers will stick with you, and then they think it's part of you. Just like I said before, your beliefs and your belief in yourself and how you handle certain situations will be, you have to make sure they're a positive thing. So any small failure, well, let me give you some experience of doing this for so long and dealing with agents. Number one, and I have a hard time, not hard time, but I have a difficult time trying to relax certain agents and situations, and trying to put my coaching without explaining that it's not all your fault, but there's certain things that you've done differently. Example, when transactions fall apart because buyer and seller can't agree, 90% of the time, one side's blaming the other side, and the other side's blaming the other side, and it's always pointing the finger at anything. So once everything's over and calmed down, I usually sit down with the agent and I go, these are some skills and some things over experience of what you can do to maybe help understand, keep the transaction together. Now, if the buyer and seller want out of 100%, yes, things fall apart, they go their own way. But I've seen things fall apart that don't need to fall apart because the buyer and seller are just upset. Things just didn't go their way. They're actually harming themselves. They're like shooting themselves in the foot, so to say, if you've heard that term before. And I see it happen all the time, just because they're stubborn, they didn't get their way. They, we're as their agents, we're their trusted advisors. And then I see agents, when they get their emotions, again, this is where the book is very good, when they get into their buyers and sellers emotions, and then they start kind of going down that path or going down that stream of emotions with the buyers, because they feel like they have to be on their side and show them they're on their side. But I try my best to train agents and coach them and things and skills and ideas and words and phrases and storytelling to explain how things could happen in a transaction. And it's not the end of the world. You're not always going to get everything you want, but see the positive side of things. And I've seen things fall apart for the smallest little thing because the emotions in it. So the point I'm getting is, use questions, but don't always point the finger. That's what happens in real estate. There's nothing that you did wrong, but there might be something you do. What could I have done to help keep this transaction together? Don't always say it was, it's your buyer, it was the seller's fault, the seller's agent's fault, things fell apart, their fault, we did everything right. but now your buyer might be not in the best position because the transaction fell apart. What can you do? What can I have done to help keep everybody, their emotions in check, help them out with the transaction? I know this is best for them. So again, I'm sticking to one kind of topic here because a lot of agents have been in this position where things fell apart for no reason whatsoever other than the emotions in it, going on with buyers and sellers and what's going on in their lives and what's best for them. Again, if they know what's best for them, let them do with that. But if you see them going down a wrong path, you might want to just take a step back, use those questions. What can I do? What and how can I handle these situations in a better way to help my client? Nothing that like you did wrong, but you learn from them. What can I add to the next thing? So I see with a lot of agents is that they sometimes, if they start thinking that way to themselves, they think they did something wrong and they don't want to admit it to themselves. So use those questions, the power of questions, and to say, I didn't do anything wrong, but how can I add something? What can I add to the next transaction? What can I say? How can I word things differently? How can I handle with the other agent? Should I talk more? Should I not text as much? Should I not send a book-long email of all the things the other side did wrong? Again, we're dealing with highly emotional situations with clients. We sometimes get our emotions tied up with it. And this is a great book to help you learn those emotions, how to handle them, how to be more successful, how to have powerful questions that are not negative, already loaded with negative answers to you, how to change your beliefs and how to handle things and show that you believe that you can handle certain circumstances. You could be successful in real estate no matter where you are in your life. These are two great topics to really read through if you get the book, an audio book. And again, the author does a great job of again, this is not a real estate book. I'm just giving my real estate take on how it could help you as a realtor and with your business. So hopefully that explains how I interpret it and how I see it in my day-to-day in handling agents. And the bottom line, what I want you to take away from today on these two subjects is number one, believe you can do it. You have the ability. Every situation you could learn from. You can build on your business, and it's like a snowball. There's many successful agents, so you got to believe that you can be one of them. There's nothing that they have inside of them that you don't have or can't learn or can't build on or can't do. I've seen it. I have hundreds and hundreds of brand new agents right out of school that have been with my office over 22 years, and some of them have succeeded. And I had no clue that I didn't think that they had it in them because I just felt very unconfident, but they found that. And I have some people that I thought when they came in the door were so confident and such a great belief system that failed. So it's all in how you believe in what you do, and you can do it. Two, watch the questions. Watch the questions. Don't say, why did this happen to me? Why am I not successful? Why did this happen in my life? Why this? Why that? Then you're going to get loaded negative questions. How can I learn from this? What can I do to be more successful? What kind of training can I do? Who can be my mentor and help me? Who's more experienced that could help me with my emotions and things? So use those kind of questions to help build on your success and on your thought process and build on your beliefs. So hopefully that helps you today. And then so tomorrow, and sorry, we're a little early today on the live because I have some important appointments to help some agents out today. But tomorrow, the last day, the last 2 habits of the 7 things resilient people do differently. So that's it. Have a wonderful Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11. Bye-bye.